Hello witchy people. Today I've decided to do a bit of a vlog, sort of showing my face, and I haven't done my hair or anything, so never mind. Anyway, because I'm not actually doing anything crafty and I'm not sort of making anything or showing you anything. This is just simply a bit of a rant and a bit of a whine and a whinge. And it's about ravens. Now, as you all know, if you've ever seen anything of any of my YouTube channels, I love ravens. Ravens, crows, rooks, magpies, love them all. And I wanted to get hold of a raven feather, and I wanted it to be a genuine raven feather. And then I realised something, is that they're virtually impossible to get hold of. And a lot of people that are selling, and they do sell them at quite high prices, a lot of these people that are selling what they claim to be raven feathers aren't actually raven feathers. They are the feathers from the carrion crow, which is obviously much more common, especially through England. And it really annoys me. I was going to say something different. It really does annoy me that people will try and, especially in the pagan community, not the actual pagan community, but people selling to the pagan community, really try to get you to buy things that aren't what they say they are, and they charge an awful lot of money for stuff just because they put the word pagan in front of it. And it really gets my goat. I mean, it really does annoy me. So this is my whinge today. This is, how dare they, first of all, don't sell me something that isn't what you say it is. So if I ask for a raven feather and you're selling me a raven feather, sell me a raven feather. Don't sell me a carrion crow feather or a crow feather or just a feather that happens to be dyed black, which I've had a few of. Yes, I have been fooled. So there's that. And even with crow feathers, you've got to bear in mind that I don't know what the rest of the world is like, but I know that in England all wild birds and their eggs are protected. They're all protected species, so you can't go and sort of like grab a bird and pluck a few feathers out. You can only gather the feathers from the ground, that sort of thing. You just can't go around killing animals and then killing birds because you fancy a few feathers. Sorry about that, had a bit of an interruption. That is basically it's I'm fed up with being sold something that isn't what it says it is. Oh, the other thing that really gets me is when people sell you, some sellers sell you what they claim is turquoise, and it's not. It's howlite. It's blue howlite, also known as wolfstone, and it's not turquoise. And you can get white howlite, also wolfstone, but wolfstone and blue howlite is a lot more common and a lot cheaper therefore than turquoise. So if you're going to sell me, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love blue howlite and I'll buy it, but don't sell it to me as turquoise, because that I don't like. So this is my whinge and my whine today, is being sold stuff that isn't what it says it is, and being charged the earth for something that isn't what it says it is. So this is me showing my face on camera and talking to the camera. It's the weirdest feeling. Never actually done it on my own before. Done it with an animal, sort of like showing off my pets, but I've never actually spoken direct to the camera, so it's a bit odd. It's a really weird feeling. And okay, the other thing I'd like to do is I'd like to explain a bit more why I'm kind of like coming back out of the broom closet, so to speak, and changing my life back to how I wanted it to be, and really getting, I think it was, like I said, I was regrouping, I think was the phrase I used. Going back is almost a year ago now. Well, it has been a year. I started having blackouts, and the general consensus was that I was suffering from epilepsy. And I had to go and talk to a doctor who was about as useful as a chocolate teapot. I won't mention any names, but he was, you know, totally and utterly. He was asking me questions, and then when he wasn't getting the answers that he wanted, he was asking them again and again and again, until I sort of said, well, yeah, that's part of the answer. And they'd say, oh, right, that's it, write it down. Anyway, I digress. And I had an MRI scan, and that's come back almost clear. I don't have epilepsy. I've since found out from a friend that unless you're actually having a seizure or have epilepsy due to a brain injury, it won't show up on an MRI scan. Anyway, that's what I was told. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Anyway, the blackouts haven't stopped. The fits, we call them my moments, they haven't stopped. And so when the MRI scan came back, it showed that I had the vessels in my brain are closing up, and they're getting thinner. And God, it frightened the heck out of me. It really did, to know that basically my brain is dying slowly. I mean, okay, it happens to everyone, but you know, I'm not even 50 yet. I'm nearly 50, but I'm not 50 yet. And my brain is giving up on me. And I was worried that I would forget things, and I think that's partly why I wanted to write down some of the things that I remembered, especially a lot of the things about herbs and stuff like that, because I used to love working with herbs and making my own medications and stuff. Simple things like cough syrups and whatnot. But I was frightened I was going to forget this, which is why I started writing it down. And that's when I realised that I needed to get back on my path. I needed to be true to myself. My friend Jade, who I haven't spoken to in years, she used to say, to thine own self be true. And she's so right, you know. And I wanted that. I wanted to start being true to myself and who I wanted to be, regardless of what I thought anyone else would think about me because of it. So that's really what's got me back out the broom closet and trying to sort myself out. And it's a bit weird actually, me at the moment being on camera, because I'm hoping it's not noticing too much, but the right side of my face is not moving properly. I've got problems at the moment with the right side of my face and my right arm, which is probably due once again to my brain, you know. And I thought, you know, I really have to not make a difference, just make myself known. And I think that's part of it. It's dying and not being known, and or ceasing to be and not being known. And I think when my brain shuts down completely, if it gets any worse, I'm going to start losing parts of myself, and I'm going to cease to be, because I will not be who I am. Does that kind of make sense? It doesn't really make sense. It kind of makes sense. I know what I'm talking about. So that was the other reason why this is all started. And you know, it kind of, like I said, it's frightening. It's really, really scary. And I can imagine it's nothing like this. Obviously it's not scary and terrifying like if I had a terminal illness, you know, although my dad used to say life is a terminal illness. Which kind of makes sense. Yeah, so I haven't got that dreaded fear of you know, I could imminently die, but I have got that dreaded fear of something is happening to my body and my brain, and part of what makes me me is not working properly anymore. And this is part of who I am. I ramble on and I go on off on tangents about everything, and I talk about a whole load of rubbish, but it is just who I am. So that's my whine and my ramble on today. raven feathers and being sold stuff that isn't what it is, and being overcharged with things that aren't what they say they are, and you know why I'm doing what I'm doing. So there you go. And I think I'm going to just go now and stop making a fool of myself. And by the way, this is my craft room. This is my messy room, and you're only seeing like the slightly tidyish bit of the corner, unfortunately, because in my craft room I have the spare bed, I have boxes, and obviously all my craft stuff, and it's a tiny room, and it's really packed to the gills of stuff. And so yeah, excuse the mess. And it's coming now to the end of November. It is, I'm looking at my computer, it is the 25th of October. So, and I'm really looking forward to NaNoWriMo. I've got everything planned out, and I may even get the 50,000 words. And I'm actually going to write a short, I suppose you call it a thesis, really, a short thesis on something which I may or may not reveal. It's oh okay, it's about how the green man is connected, and is how the green man and Herne the Hunter could be connected through Cernunnos, which some people call Cernunnos. I know, just the way I say it. So yeah, it's how they may be connected with Cernunnos as like the central linchpin, if you like. So yeah, I'm going to do hopefully minimum 5,000 word short thesis an essay on that. So okay, I did say I was going to stop rambling, so I am going to stop rambling. I'm going to finish my coffee, get myself a fresh coffee, and then I'm going to go and write out another list and do some more research on this whole green man thing, so that I can get everything ready for when I do NaNoWriMo. So thank you for listening to my ramblings on, and I'm sorry I do ramble on, but you know, it's just who I am. So bye bye witchy people.